Hey there, it's Mary Claire. Welcome to my new vlogging channel. I am hoping that I'm going to be able to do some cool things here, and this seems a little less pressure than my regular videos, which I'm still going to be trying to make, but I have to be able to learn how to do the editing and all of that, and it's still a little bit intimidating for me. I really haven't been able to figure much of it out, but right now I've got a free trial of Canva Pro, I think it is, and so I'm hoping that I will be able to figure that shit out in the next couple of weeks or so. But one of the things that has been going around on YouTube lately that really pisses me off is the fake DID people. DID, I'm talking about dissociative identity disorder, and I'm really tired of people online pretending they have it or trying to self-diagnose. It's not a self-diagnosable condition. It just isn't. It's usually a bunch of cosplayers or gamers, but there's also people seem to get this idea that you can diagnose yourself with things by taking some kind of quiz online or talking to somebody that has it, but that's really not true, and it's not a good thing. Like, fake DID people actually affect people like me that actually have a diagnosis of dissociative identity disorder, and it gets really hard because those that are pretending or faking or that don't have it that say that they do are setting a tone for how the public interacts with the rest of us. So they see the fakers and they get a totally different idea of what DID actually is. And I saw somebody today that said something about, well, it's not malicious. Yes, it is. I don't care if you don't mean it to be malicious. If you don't have DID, stop saying you have DID. If you don't have a diagnosis, just shut the fuck up, because you don't get to just say that you have it. And those of us that actually have it have been through some serious trauma. We're talking like Epstein level trauma. So we don't need people strutting around pretending they have something that they don't because it makes them feel special. It's not special. It's difficult to live with. People treat you differently. It's hard to get things done sometimes. There's things that I still can't do while things are still emerging for me. And it is not fair to those of us that have this diagnosis for the rest of these people to run around pretending they have it. And it's a betrayal. It is malicious, whether you mean it to be malicious or not, because it really does affect us. And I'm really fucking tired of it. It's the scourge of the internet. You know, the internet's great, the social media is great, but any idiot can go and type in a list of symptoms and it'll pop up something, and then they can be convinced they have that forever, and a doctor could tell them different. Evidence be damned. They have this because they took a quiz online or they joined a group, and a lot of people I've noticed have other diagnoses. A common one is borderline personality disorder, and apparently they don't like that diagnosis, so then they go and say that their mental health professional is wrong and what they really have is DID. No, it's not. And it affects them too, because they need help for their own issues, and they can't get that if they're going to either deny their diagnosis or self-diagnose as something else. So it affects them as well, and not just those of us that actually have DID. Now, people are trying to tell me that DID isn't as rare these days. Teenagers, who are a lot of the fakers, if they did have DID, it isn't actually obvious yet. And so if they're playing DID as a teenager, they more than likely don't have it at all. But if they did, it wouldn't be showing up yet. So, and this is from severe routine trauma that happened like before the age of 6 or so. And, you know, I was sex trafficked as a child. I've been through a lot of trauma, and it's really, really insulting for people to pretend that they have this diagnosis when they haven't been through the things you have to go through to have it. They want the diagnosis because they think it's trendy, they think it's cool, and it's really not at all. It's difficult. People relate to you differently. It's hard to be able to do some regular everyday things that other people get to do. It's not fun at all. It's not cool. This isn't a play, and if you really want to act, go find a place that you can fit in to do plays or musicals or whatever you'd like. Play in a movie, I don't care. Just stop diagnosing DID when you don't have DID. It's not funny. It's not cool. It affects those of us that have it, and it affects you too. And I'm so over it. It gets overwhelming. The amount of people of, my friend has DID too. No, they don't. They more than likely they don't. And if they're under 20, no, not at all. And you can come at me with anything you like, but no, it doesn't happen. And people are trying to tell me it's a lot more common these days. I don't actually believe that. Because again, the severity of the trauma that you have to have in order to even have this condition, and how it has to have happened at a very young age, that's just something that hasn't happened to most people. And then I get people carrying on about, well, it's not the trauma Olympics. You don't get to say that your trauma is worse than my trauma. Yes, bitch, I do. There are levels of trauma, and I was sex trafficked as a child. That's just, I can't change that. But you being bullied at school, I'm sorry, that's traumatic. It's terrible. It shouldn't have happened to you. It's not the same thing at all. It's not the same level of trauma. And you don't have DID because somebody bullied you in 2nd grade. That's not how it works. So it gets frustrating. It gets overwhelming. Today I came at somebody on YouTube about DID, and I really shouldn't have, because it's not going to make a difference. And I get those things in me where, how you're really passionate about something and the adrenaline starts running and you get this high and you've just got to do something about this. I had that moment earlier because I wanted to go at her like, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. And I kind of did, but one time, and then I realized that this isn't going to go anywhere. All it's going to do is continue to stir me up, and it's going to turn me into a bully, and I don't want that. I don't want to bully people online, even if they're doing me wrong personally, which they are by pretending to have DID. And they said they didn't know, but they thought they had it. Well, if you thought you had it, you need to go seek a diagnosis, because otherwise this is just crazy. Come on now. But that wells up inside of me, because this harms me and I'm tired of it. And so I get that feeling where I know that this is going to go badly. And it really goes back to, it's the same feeling as really in gang life when, because gang life is about respect a lot of the time. And I don't, back then, if I didn't feel respected, then this was an issue and this would set me off. And it's that same feeling. I mean, I don't go around having anything to do with gangs anymore, but that tendency is still there. The feeling is the same. Even if I can control my actions now and have a different perspective on life, the feeling is still there, and it's still the same. I feel disrespected. I feel like people are doing this on purpose and it's something that does harm me. And so it makes me feel that way, and it's just, sometimes it's difficult to work through. And so I've come up with this rule in general, but with this person, I said one thing and that was it. I should have said it more, in a nicer tone or whatever, but I said this one thing. Now, normally my rule is I'll go back and forth 3 times, and after that there's no point going back and forth unless there's actually a decent, robust discussion. But just that back and forth where you disagree with somebody who's not going to change their mind or whatever, It's 3 times. And even in my writing, I'll get to where if someone is trying to pick a fight, and I can tell they're trying to pick a fight, then I'll just write something like "thanks for reading" because I'm glad they read it, but I'm not going to get into that discussion with them because I don't want to. I don't have the time to waste on this. I don't want to be feeling that kind of thing well up inside me where I just have to be right to the point of that adrenaline rush. And so that's where things were today. And I was, interestingly enough, I was going to talk about DID today anyway. But this came up actually in a video about the it was somebody's live that I was watching after on the replay, and it was to do with the drama between Gabbie, Hanna, and Dent. And of course, Gabbie, I hope this destroys you, this information that has come out now, and that they have proof that you knew Jen didn't rape somebody, but you tried to have it spread around that she raped somebody so you could ruin her life. And then you turn around and you go and you say that everybody's been bullying you online for 6 years, whatever. I don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. There's proof now that you did this, and it's despicable. So I was, watching one of those videos, and they got onto, somebody was talking about one of the DID fakers and how not all of the ones that said they had DID and don't are actually doing it on purpose. They really thought they had it. Okay, you need a psychiatrist, and you need a psychologist, and you need a therapist. You need a team of people. I at first wasn't actually convinced that I had DID because it just didn't, I just wasn't sure, and I knew it was a serious diagnosis, and I knew that it would upset a lot of people. So there was I didn't accept it at first, and then I was diagnosed with it again by a different team of people, and it was like, okay, well, it actually made sense, but I didn't want it to settle with it and not know for sure. But if you've got two teams of professionals that are able to say the same thing, then yeah, it's legit. And if you think you may have DID, you need to seek a professional diagnosis. And because the other thing is, it's not just the fakers that are harming themselves. It's if you have a particular diagnosis, you probably need to know this so that you can seek the correct treatment for yourself so that you'll feel better. And that will be a really cool thing. It's great to know what's going on so that you can feel better. And trying to diagnose yourself with something really serious doesn't actually help with that. So hopefully DID gets to the point where it's not as trendy anymore, as in trendy like people want to have it. It's not all that. It really isn't. So I was on one of those, like I said, the Gabbie, Hanna, Dent thing, and someone was talking about one of the DID fakers that was just exposed. Now, I had seen that one of the DID fakers was just exposed, but I have not been able to watch this person's videos because it is very triggering to me. And again, it brings up that thing of, I want to fight, I want to fight, I want to fight, but I really don't want to fight. It's not something that I want to get involved in, but it just came up with the internet drama, which was crazy because I didn't used to watch any of those kind of drama channel videos or anything, but when I got pneumonia and I couldn't really do anything else except sit in my chair and be miserable and sit with a nebulizer mask up to my nose, I just kind of started watching YouTube videos and just kind of watched whatever was there. And I came across the catastrophe that is Tyler Catastrophe, and then Gabbie, Hanna, and all these, people that I didn't even know existed before I got pneumonia for the 85th time or whatever. It's not been that many, but you get it. I really don't know how many times it's been, and I'm tired of pneumonia too, to be honest. But it was in that time that I started just watching whatever was on there, and then I don't know, I started following some of this drama that was really kind of unnecessary, but it was just a way to keep myself caring enough about anything at all. I couldn't even read. I was just that sick, and so having the videos on kind of at least kept me being able to do something. So, yes, I know that I could have, prayed a rosary. I could have used my prayer rope. I could have done a lot of things, and I did. And, there was just a lot of time still that I wasn't able to do very much. I was able to drive my daughter to work, but that was about all I could do. Well, that and keep showing up to the doctor's office or the ER or the, anywhere that I needed to be because I was sick. And I ended up being hundreds of dollars out of pocket this last time I had pneumonia, even though I had insurance. Medicaid didn't want to pay for the x-ray from the urgent care. They'll pay for the urgent care visit because they're in network with the urgent care, but they're not in network with the urgent care's x-ray provider. So not only did I have to pay for the x-ray, I also had to pay for a new nebulizer. I also had to pay for one of the lots of antibiotics, one of the lots of breathing treatments, and 2 other medications because my 6 medications lots a month that I can get for free had already been used up on other pneumonia meds, and I ended up, like I said, being hundreds of dollars out of pocket. And during that period of time, I had 2 steroid shots, 1 round of oral steroids, 3 shots of antibiotics, 5 lots of antibiotics. I was just sick, and I was just, laying around, and so I just watched this crap on YouTube. And so I've kept up with some of it just because, some of it became to where I began watching. Not only that, I had started watching, I guess, maybe also a couple of weeks before that, but not to this level, because I was watching videos of the styles that I might want to try videos of, because I don't know what I'm doing with videos. And so I was watching other videos, commentary people, drama people, all kinds of things to see if I could pick up tips or just watch enough to see how these people did what they did. And I picked up a lot of stuff. And I still don't know how to edit. I still don't have what I need really to do videos all the time, but I'm going to keep trying, because if I can make money off my writing or my videos, then I'll be able to afford to buy the software or whatever to make better videos, So it'll either work or it won't, and so we'll just go like this for now, because this is what I can do. I can sit here in front of my phone screen and yap. But if I mess it up, I have to either re-record the whole thing or just, keep going, because I don't have the editing skills yet, and I've had to do a lot of research and whatever, and I'm still just really, really uncertain. And see, that's a way also that DID affects life, because some of my people know how to do some of these things. Nobody knows how to do the whole thing, but you still have to piece all your people together to be able to do a task that one knows one part of the task and one knows another part of the task, and then getting them to work together, that isn't easy. So it does affect every little aspect of life, and so this vlogging wasn't what I really had started out wanting to do. And then I started watching some of the bloggers too, and I was like, you know what, I really think I could do that. So I thought I would try. I thought it would help me get more comfortable in front of the camera to begin with, and where I could just be a little, didn't have to be as intense, like have a written script and whatever, because it tends to be a little more off the cuff. Now, I don't want to do something crazy. I want to kind of keep topics together or whatever. I'll probably talk about DID more on this channel than on my main channel, which is for whatever goes along with my Alters and Alters publication on Substack. I haven't yet decided if I'm making another channel for demonology content. I tend to want to put those videos on my Patreon, and I am setting up my Patreon, and I've got something cool for Patreon supporters that I hope will be fun. People have been asking me to write fiction, and I have not wanted to do that. Fiction kind of isn't my thing, and I've been scared to try and whatever. But the about 2 weeks ago, I bought a notebook, just a regular composition book at Walmart, which I don't use a lot of other notebooks anymore except for the disc-bound system. And so getting a composition book was really just setting this whole thing, making it clear that it's an entirely different project. And so I went down to the bookstore. You know, I had some of my own ideas, but this notebook was just for writing things down that might help with particular fiction novels that I might want to explore. And so I am not going to give up any of the secrets in this vlog, because I want to make a video that has a poll on which novel people would like to see first. And that'll be, you know, a couple of those little fun things that'll only be available on Patreon. And I'm going to put the details for my other work in the box below, because I don't know how to put them on the screen. So hopefully you'll go look at those as well, because my main work is writing, and the articles that I put on Substack on my main publication. And then I also have a publication for content about demonology, because the thing about me is I have some pretty cool skills. None of them are really translate over to good skills career-wise. Nobody needs a demonologist. Well, not usually, and not in the workplace, right? So I can't market that. It's funny because I guess, you know, some of the things I'm good at, like, I tend to make deep connections between two things that other people can't make, but then I get frustrated because it seems blatantly obvious to me that these two things are connected and how they're connected. And so my therapist and I were talking earlier today, about how if I was going to put that on a resume, the kind of, you know, words I could use to, basically bullshit through that without, you know, be like, well, I am able to connect complex ideas, you know, and keep that going, because I was talking about how I don't like copywriting, but I'm really actually good at copywriting, and how I do need to make money, and so I'm going to offer copywriting, because copywriting has been mostly taken over by AI, but there are people out there that don't want AI to do their writing for them and will still want a human copywriter. Now, there probably isn't very many of them because people are trying to save money, but a lot of the smaller creators, they might still, because a lot of us are resisting AI based on, you know, principle alone of, I don't want my work stolen by somebody else, so I don't want AI, you know, stealing somebody else's work to help create something for me. So that is not the only issue I have with AI, and in order to talk a lot about AI, that actually crosses over into demonology content in a really fascinating way, if you're kind of interested in that sort of thing. But that is not the discussion for today, and you'll be able to read more about that on my publication called Reluctant Demonologist. You know, demonology isn't something that I woke up wanting to do. Really, there were things that just happened that brought me there. I have a lot of experience, unfortunately, and I've done a lot of research, and so that's one of the topics that I write and make videos about, and it's very specific, so it has its own separate publication. And I am working on, I don't know if I'm going to need this. One of my kids told me that I need to set up Discord, and so I've got the channel or whatever it's called. So I've got it there, and I've named it, and that's it. If I'm going to use it, I'm going to need my 18-year-old to teach me how to use it, whereas my almost 15-year-old tells me, Mom, you're a millennial that writes, you don't need Discord, but my 18-year-old thinks I need everything techie, and so I know a lot of creators my age do actually use Discord, but I'm not sure what it's for, and so until I'm able to edit videos and get Patreon sorted, I don't see the need to really work much on Discord. I will take the name I want and leave it sit there so that nobody else can have it, because I'm going to be a greedy bitch that way, right? So, anyway, that is where I'm heading right now. I hope that the vlogging will be fun, if nothing else. You know, it's just one of those things that hopefully, if it doesn't make any money or people don't want to go and see any of my other content, that we still had fun here. And I hope that that was clear with the name. Hey there, it's Mary Claire. My almost 15-year-old said, Mom, that sounds so millennial. And I'm like, well, being a millennial, doesn't that make sense to you? Maybe that's something that I should use, because that's part of my generation. Anyway, that child has a lot of friends, very extroverted, and the rest of us are introverts, so the poor kid is stuck being the youngest of a bunch of introverts. So anyway, I hope you had fun. I had enough fun to try this vlogging thing again, and I hope that you will engage with some of my other content.